Muted.
You muted.
Yeah, NBA Finals. Ian Cameron, Skee Prophet, Dutch Boy Fresh, Conor Mac, and look who else is with us as well here. We have got Trot Wham in the house joining us as well for this special edition of the NBA Pub Hub Finals Edition. We're in the NBA Finals now. This is the exciting time of year. We're down to our final two teams, the Milwaukee Bucks and the Phoenix Suns. We got to expand the pub a little bit. We had to renovate the pub. We had to expand it, put some new seats in, and we brought in Trot Wham into the house here on the NBA Pub Hub. But we've only got, obviously, this one game to talk about. So rather than me blabbering on for 4 minutes, let's get around the horn and get some initial thoughts, excitement level, anticipation for the NBA Finals. Game 1 starting tonight, Milwaukee and Phoenix. Let's start with Trot Wham, who's joining us today for the Finals. Trot Wham, how excited are you?
Oh, man, I appreciate you guys for having me on. I'm very excited, man. We got a CP3 Giannis Legacy series here. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, man. I'm very interested to see it and cap it with you guys.
I am. Now that it's here, I am excited for the finals now that it's here. I know people are going to say that it's going to get crushed in the ratings because it's two smaller markets, Milwaukee and Phoenix. But I think from a matchup perspective, there's a lot of things to get excited about and be fascinated about with this series. Skee, how excited are you? Excitement level for the finals. Where's it at for you?
I'd be more excited if both teams were fully healthy.
Yes.
That's all I'm really disappointed in. But hopefully it's a good game. I don't want to see blowout after blowout, and then I'll be enjoying it. So look forward to breaking it down with you guys.
And Dutch, he is ready for another freshest look here in the NBA Finals. What's your freshest look in terms of what you're feeling? What's in your gut? What's your excitement like for the finals?
Well, I'm pretty excited, but honestly, to be real with you, the most excitement I got is getting out of that Milwaukee Atlanta series. God damn, that shit was up and down like a roller coaster. That shit was real nice and real bad. And when it went bad, it went real bad. So I'm real excited to get into a new series. I'm right with Skee. I'm hoping Giannis will be healthy. I want to see everybody at their best. But I'm happy to see CP3 here. It's about damn time. Shout out to the chat. Be sure to hit the like button if you're digging the content. You already know it's all love. My man Wham said it the best. But yeah, I'm really excited for today. I'm ready to see. I don't want no blowouts either. I want to cash some fucking props. And I want to be watching the game in the fourth quarter in a competitive game. That's all I ask.
Yeah, absolutely. Conor Mac, NBA Finals. It's here, Milwaukee. I've got my Phoenix futures, so you already know who I'm cheering for in this series. But how excited are you?
Yeah, I'm hyped. I'd be a lot better if Giannis was fully healthy, I think. I mean, it just kind of sucks this whole – I don't think he's going to play in game 1. We'll see. He wants to go out there and play, but – I don't know. And then the whole thing with the Suns, CP3, this young team that went from nowhere, had an unreal kind of bubble last year, to just the great Booker and all the pieces they put around there in Phoenix to see this team in the finals beat all the Lakers, all the teams in the West to get here, and now kind of big favorites as we'll talk about here, game 1.
Yeah, let's get into it. We've got game 1 here, Milwaukee and Phoenix. The finals get underway tonight in the desert. We've got the Phoenix Suns, 5.5 point home favorites, 219, actually down to pretty much 217, the total in most spots right now. But when you look at this series going into it, it's obviously the health of Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek Freak, is paramount for the Milwaukee Bucks. But I was impressed in the last 2 games against Atlanta, the way they played without him. Let's keep in mind, 2 games without him on the floor for the entire game. They won both games at home in game 5, on the road in game 6 to finish off that series against the Hawks. But doing that against the Hawks, and look, Trae Young was clearly compromised in that game 6. There's no question about that. He probably shouldn't have played, but he's one of those guys that he feels he's got to gut through it in a must-win elimination game, and he shouldn't have. He was just totally ineffective in that game. His shot wasn't there. There was no lift. And they said this constantly on the broadcast, Marvin Reggie, the other night, that, he had no lift on his shot. The passing was off the mark, and you could tell he was clearly hampered by that injury. Winning against an Atlanta team with no Trae Young in one game and a hobbled Trae Young in another without Giannis, and now doing it against this Phoenix team, it's going to be a totally different challenge here for the Milwaukee Bucks. I like the way Drew Holiday played as that series went along in the Eastern Conference Final against Atlanta. We'll see if he can keep that going here. What I was impressed with from Atlanta is there were times where they were able to hold their own on the glass. And for Phoenix, there's going to be a lot of emphasis on guys like Crowder, on guys, of course, like DeAndre Ayton to really be able to bang inside, grab those rebounds, grab those loose balls inside. And you saw Ayton, for the most part, got the better of his adversary at the other end, Zubats. For the Clippers. Now, Zubats had some good games in that series in the Western Conference Finals, but I thought Ayton, I think rebounds is definitely something that I'm looking at for him in terms of player props tonight and in this series. Not that I'd say stop betting over points with him, but there's been an adjustment. I don't know if there's going to be that offensive dominance in the low post for Ayton to the level it was against the Clippers, but rebounding-wise, I think he will be a factor. No question about it for the Suns on the board. So Ayton over props makes sense to me in tonight's game and throughout the series. As far as the Milwaukee side goes, Drew Holiday's had the hot hand. You definitely could look at that in terms of over points tonight for him. There are a couple of Phoenix players I like in terms of made 3-pointers. Cam Johnson over 1.5. Mikal Bridges over 1.5. As far as Chris Paul and Devin Booker is concerned, first game, they both played. Paul in particular was incredible closing out the Clippers. Will they be good, though? They've had a little bit of time off. Will they be at their best? I don't know. I'm looking at more of the secondary cast, supporting cast, if you will, members of Phoenix tonight from a prop standpoint. As far as the and also I like PJ Tucker over his rebounds, too. I think there's going to be a guy that's definitely going to have to get in there on the glass. Brook Lopez, we saw his minutes increase, his offensive game explode really without Giannis. He was averaging 15 points without Giannis, and he was very good offensively the 2 games without him. But again, this is all contingent upon Giannis not playing tonight, and we don't know that for sure yet, and we probably won't know that until right before tip-off. So those are the props I like. As far as the side and the total goes, I do like Phoenix in game 1, and the reasoning is simple. Phoenix has shown up in game 1s. They played well. They beat the Lakers, beat the Clippers in game 1, beat the Nuggets in game 1. Whereas what have the Bucks done in game 1? They've kind of struggled a little bit more than Phoenix has in game 1s. And coaching plays a big role in game 1s. Which coach do I think could have their team better ready tonight? Monty Williams or Budenholzer? For me, the choice is clear. And that's Monty Williams going into this game. So I like Phoenix in the full game. I'm going to keep it at that. Nothing on the total. I don't have a strong feel one way or another in terms of the total tonight, but I do like Phoenix here, laying the points here in game number 1. We'll start with Trotwam. What do you like here, game 1?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think Phoenix is possibly the play here. I'm not going to play it just because I think I want to see where the matchups lie as far as like what type of adjustments are going to be made to stop Devin Booker or vice versa to slow down Chris Middleton. So I'm going to pay attention to that in the first game. I like the under, and I already locked it in before we got in this show. 219 is where I got it at. I was hoping I was going to be able to get a 220, but it doesn't seem like it's kind of steady there. So I'm going to lock in the 219. I just believe that this will be an under type of game, like you mentioned, with Chris Paul, Russ factor with these guys, alongside with the Milwaukee Bucks not having those 19 second chance points that they were getting in the last 3 games against Atlanta, that being taken off the table because this Phoenix team has allowed the Clippers, I believe, just about four second chance points. And as far as the fast break points, I don't think that's going to be available for them as well here. And along with the points in the paint, I think Ayton is a lot better down low than what you're seeing Capella. So you're going to see the points in the paint shrink for the Bucks, I believe, in this series compared to where it was last series. So I like the under there, and that's kind of where my angles are as far as the total and the side.
All right, Trotwam liking the under here, most of all here for game 1 tonight in this one. And yeah, Middleton's had the hot hand. Obviously, we saw what he did, in game 5. We saw what he did in game 6, where that third quarter is essentially the one quarter where he just went nuts in game 6, just hitting every shot. Didn't matter if it was the mid-range shot, whether a fadeaway jumper, a 3-pointer in the corner, did not matter. He was draining left, right, and center, everything that he was putting at the rim in the third quarter of game 6. So obviously, if Giannis doesn't play, there's going to be a lot on the shoulders offensively of Chris Middleton. So if anyone's interested in him from a props perspective tonight, especially if Giannis doesn't go. I wouldn't hate that by any stretch of the imagination. Skee, what do you think here? Game 1, Bucks and Suns.
I like that comment from Razor. You didn't get it yet, but you probably get it in like 5 minutes.
Holiday bust CP3's ass. You know it too. You know it too.
Something Ian said kind of stood out to me. Or I think he was just talking about Ayton. And I think when Ian was talking, just reminded me that we heard the MVP come out and say that he's the center that he had the most trouble with out of anybody in the league. So I don't think Brook Lopez is going to be able to do anything with him. If I was looking to play props on somebody in game 1 without seeing these teams, I mean, that probably would be the guy I'll continue to look at. So, and also Brook Lopez, not a big rebounder. So 8 points and rebounds sounds interesting to me. I didn't really get to look at a number just because I don't know. I had a lot of stuff going on this morning. All right. What's points and rebounds?
It's like 27.5, I believe.
Yeah, I probably would do points and rebounds. I think he can get both. And I'll leave the side to y'all. I'm not even gonna look at the side, but on the total, I guess that'll work. Ian likes the side. I'll do the total. I agree with Wham. I like it under. And we've seen a few times already this playoffs, like the Jazz, or I think we saw one time with the Suns too. But when teams have that long layoff, even Shaq talked about it. When teams are out 5 days or more, like they're a little bit rusty. So I think we'll see some of that from Phoenix early on in the game. And then at the end of the game, I always talk about Chris Paul taking the air out the ball. So they'll probably slow it down in the fourth quarter. So I like under. I waited, and 220 popped up at Circa. That's what I took right there. From the Bucks side, I was talking about if Giannis plays, that's what I want to say. If Giannis plays, I think it'll be even better for an under because I think he'll look more so like how Trae Young was. Like he's not going to be completely ready to go. So I see too many ways to get an under here.
I agree with that. I mean, if Giannis plays, this could be Trae Young game 6 all over again, where he's there in body, but is he there in spirit and 100% ability and 100% effectiveness to do all the things Giannis usually would do? Yeah, we don't know that. Probably not. With the kind of you're talking about a hyperextended left knee. That's not something you just run back onto the court if he does play tonight and you're all of a sudden right on top of your game again right away. It just doesn't work that way. So you could end up seeing this be a situation just like the other night where, maybe Trae Young rushed his way back too soon. Maybe Giannis does the same thing tonight because, it's the NBA Finals. I got to play. I can't pass up this opportunity. Well, if you're not going to be 100% and be at your best to help your team, maybe you should give yourself that extra day or extra 2 days to wait it out. It's just that's why this is a bad thing for Milwaukee that it's starting tonight instead of Thursday, the NBA Finals. If this had started Thursday, Giannis might have been able to return Thursday for game 1. And even if he didn't return to play Thursday for game 1, there's 2 days off. Thursday to Sunday would have been the next game in this series. So he would have had 2 days off and he could have been absolutely ready to be back for game 2. Now you're left wondering, well, will he play tonight? And he's not even a guarantee maybe to play game 2. He may not even be back till game 3. He could be back tonight, 2 or 3. And the schedule and the final starting tonight instead of Thursday has played a big part in this and been a big, I think, negative, in my opinion, for Giannis and for the Bucks. So we'll see if maybe Phoenix can take advantage of that. Dutch, what do you think here, game 1?
Yeah, shout out to our guy, MMA Locker Room, Turnsy, Wyatt Chapman. I see Razor Sharp picks. Yeah, man, Holiday bust CP3's ass. Come on, you about to see it, though. But as a team, I'm liking CP3 and the Suns tonight. I'm not going to lie to you. But I definitely going to be back on Holiday over 22.5. He's going to be busting that ass. CP3 is going to be big as fuck when Holiday's attacking him. Believe that. I love over 22.5. He played one game this season. He had 25 and 8 against them. And then the 2 games he's played without Giannis, he's averaging 26 points. I believe he'll be aggressive, ultra aggressive. I'm not mad at Middleton's props, but I believe he's going to have a hell of a time with Crowder, Bridges. I mean, Craig, you mentioned how good he is coming off the bench. Ian, he's gonna have his hands full from a defensive aspect. They need Giannis out there to be competitive. In my opinion, I don't believe Giannis will play until game 3, and that's when this series will start. I simply believe they're gonna lose these first 2 games. Just a matter of will Phoenix cover? I think they will cover the -6 tonight. I love DeAndre Ayton. This motherfucker's been eating all playoffs long, and we've been eating off of him. This will not stop. Brook Lopez is not going to stop this motherfucker. Believe that. Over 15.5 points is easy money. I dropped it at minus 125. 16.5 is plus money if you want that as well. I'm definitely not mad at the rebounds and points and rebounds, but I love the points. He's getting 20 plus tonight. He's averaging 18.5 points in the 2 meetings this season against Milwaukee. Excuse me. He's just simply going to go off. Brook. The rebound thing a little bit scares me is because Brook loves to fucking hang on the perimeter so much. So he will have to go out there a little bit, but he should get the double-digit rebounds. But in the pick and roll, CP3, they better be running that pick and roll every fucking time down. DeAndre is either going to get a dunk, layup, or foul, or, of course, CP3 will have a wide-open shot. We know Brook is a liability in there. And then Bobby Portis, you name it. The bench is weak. This will show. This is why I'm on Phoenix full game as well, because the bench is just too weak for Milwaukee. I think it'll show more in this series. Phoenix is all around a better team, in my opinion, especially with Giannis off the floor. The coaching is night and day to me. I'm definitely going with Monty, and then obviously they have the deeper bench. But I definitely look for I got a little Mikal Bridges prop here, over 10.5 points. I like this kid. He struggled a little bit towards the end of the series in LA. I believe he's going to be freed up a little bit with all the attention to Booker and CP3. Look for him to be getting wet in that corner. Minus 160 on the over 1.5 threes. Little juice there, but we'll go over 10.5 points. He averaged 18 points in the 2 meetings against Milwaukee this season. I think the kid will have a confidence. I think he'll have a good series, and I look for him to be nice over there and sharp in that corner, and also play some solid defense as well. Shout out to my guy John Lee. But yeah, I love Phoenix here. I'm loving DeAndre Ayton, and I like Mikal Bridges. And also from Milwaukee side, we're looking at over 22.5 for Drew Holiday. He will bust CP3's ass. Believe that.
All right, there you go. Waving the flag for Drew Holiday, Dutch, on the
my guy.
Of course, we've been riding them all playoffs. Why stop now? Don't jump off the train now. But you and I are on the same page with a lot of the props. 8 in rebounds, 8 and maybe a little points and rebounds. I like Bridges over points. Bridges over 1.5 threes. I like that. And Cam Johnson over 1.5 threes. I like that. Tucker over rebounds. So those are the props I'm looking at. You're on a bunch of them, Dutch. So good to hear that. And I also like in Phoenix here in this one. The thing with the bench, you made a good point about it. Milwaukee's bench, Connaughton and Teague out of nowhere, 13 and 11 points in the Game 6 win. Are you going to get that every night from those two guys? Not necessarily. I mean, that's the best I've seen Connaughton play in ages the other night in that Game 6 win. So can't always rely on that. We're going to get to the MVP, by the way, Finals MVP board, and just before we end the show and get to best bets, because I think there's some things to consider in that with those props as well to win Finals MVP. Conor Mac, what do you think here? Game 1 tonight.
Yeah, game 1 of a series, especially the finals. I always like to kind of watch, what's going on. But I'm with Skee a little bit and Wham. I lean towards the under here. None of these guys except Crowder have played in a finals. Maybe everything's just a little bit, tight, bright lights there. Booker, all these Suns, it could be low scoring, especially early. So I lean under. I think the Suns, like we talked about all year, when they win, they've covered. There's a lot of 5.5s out there. I think the Suns probably win. I don't feel comfortable laying 6. There's a lot of 5.5s now. I love the Holiday. We talked about it earlier, Dutch, before we got on the show. I love the over 22.5. Cam Johnson, I like his over 1.5 threes. I was looking at Tucker. You mentioned over 6.5 boards. I was looking at that. It's plus 155, or his points, rebounds, assists is over 12.5. I thought that was a good look. Hey, Giannis is out. So I thought Middleton over 8.5 boards is plus 140. I thought that was a good look. He's going to have to do work, and his double-double is plus 175. That's another look, I think, tonight. That'd be good. One other one you'd mentioned it, Dutch, the bench. The Suns got the way better bench, and I think Payne is one of the guys. If Chris Paul is a little off, Payne's got to play well. I think him over 6.5 points tonight. I think he can get there easy tonight. I think that's a good look with him getting over 6.5 points.
C-Mac?
Yeah.
Man, that's a good number. Yeah, I didn't see that one. I like that.
Yeah, let me double check here.
Yeah.
Real quick.
I think he can come off and do some damage too off the bench.
6.5 minus 120, 125.
Ooh, I'm gonna tell that one, my guy. I'm telling that.
Yeah,
one.
it's a little bit of juice, but not too bad.
Nah,
we pay
the juice, they pay us.
We got to look at it.
That was about it. I think you can't go wrong. It's now his double-double. I mean, you got to pay the price, but I think he gets there. His board's 11.5, his points are 15.5. But you got to think he eats down there. Guys like Lopez, and I mean, he's got to make shots tonight. We'll see. I'm just not a big Bucks. The games, though, real quick, the regular season was interesting. Different teams. Of course, Giannis had big games. What he scored, 40, you mentioned it, Dutch, almost both those games. I think one went to overtime, but 128, 127, 125, 124, 1-point games. But no Giannis. It's just without seeing him out there, Suns at home, that place should be rocking. I lean that way and the under.
All right, Suns in the under, and a lot of nice player props for Conor Mac that he mentioned as well. Before we get to best bets, Dutch's freshest look to wrap things up. Finals MVP. I want to bring this up because it's an interesting board. You've got Chris Paul plus 150, favorite to win it. Finals MVP. Booker plus 275, Giannis plus 375, Chris Middleton around plus 550, Drew Holiday plus 1200, DeAndre Ayton 20-1. And I'm pretty much down the list. I'd give nobody else a chance beyond Ayton, maybe. But the problem with the Suns is I think they're going to win the series. And even if Chris Paul has a mediocre finals, they're somehow going to give him, I think, the MVP, like a lifetime achievement award type deal for all the years in the league, all the struggle, the injuries you've dealt through. And that's the thing I worry about here with the MVP betting here in this prop, because even if he has an okay series but not a great series, I think Chris Paul's going to win it, Finals MVP, even if the Suns win this series. I think if you like Milwaukee in the series and you want to look at someone from Milwaukee to win Finals MVP, you got to look at Middleton. That's to me the value, plus 550, because and certainly if Giannis is out tonight and maybe out game 2 as well, that's going to diminish his chances to win Finals MVP a little bit. I think you'd have to look at Middleton if you want to be very, very bold, and maybe you could go Holiday at 12-1. But I think Middleton definitely plus 550, Holiday 12-1 is where I would go for the Bucks before I even consider Giannis, especially considering you don't even know if you're going to get him tonight on the floor for game 1. And if he does play in this series, he's going to be 100% right from the hop. We don't know that. So that's where I'm going. I think it's difficult to look at someone other than CP3 for the Suns for Finals MVP, but for the Bucks, I'd look at Middleton and Drew Holiday before I would look at Giannis in this series. Ayton at 20-1 because I think he could have a good series is so tempting, but I think for Phoenix it's Chris Paul or nobody if they end up winning the finals here as the MVP for the series. Trotwam, what did you think about the MVP props?
I love the shot at Drew Holiday. Got to play both sides of the floor. If it slows down Chris Paul, but Devin Booker, and let's just say he averages 20 points in this series,
plus
he might really get a really good chance of getting it. And it's something I would think of doing, especially with the coronavirus that we've seen this year. You never know what can happen with these futures, so I would rather take a shot at something like that other than anything else. But other than that, that's kind of only person that I would even risk my money on, because like you said with Middleton, he possibly is the favorite for the Bucks side, even though they have Giannis there. I don't think Giannis is going to play no more than 5 games in this series if it goes to 7. So I think that's probably how you want to take it. Safe, Middleton. If you got sprinkle, put it on Drew Holiday.
Sprinkling, Mike.
Sprinkle. There we go. Put it on there a little bit. Ski Profit, anything on the MVP Finals MVP board that you were interested in?
What you know about that 40 water, Dutch?
Come on, man. Hey, I was on that shit when you were still in the diaper, bro.
Finals MVP, I was looking maybe at Middleton, but his odds, I agree with what Wham said. Like, I kind of would rather take a shot if I'm gonna go for something like this. So, you can make a case for Drew Holiday for the Bucks side, like you said.
So everybody want to talk shit about Holiday, but they want to jump on him for the plus 1200. I see y'all.
Nah, he's good.
He's a guest, so he ain't did all that.
I'll make it known. I love Holiday. Holiday is a Bruin. He's a Bruin. I support all my Bruins. But
you were saying that against Trae Young's bitch ass.
Hey man, I just call it like I see it, man. Call it like I see it.
Okay, go ahead. My fault. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was thinking about Middleton, but not the price. So Holiday, if the Bucks are gonna win, I think a big part has to be because he's locking somebody up. So I think just like we saw Iguodala win because he was playing solid defense against LeBron. So I think that'll play a big part, and he's better offensively than Iguodala, even though I'm not going to disrespect Iggy. Like, he didn't hit some timely shots. Other than that, I would take a shot on Ayton just because, like we said, or like I mentioned too with the MVP, Jokic, saying that's the center he had the most trouble with. We've seen every single series he's eating. I don't see anybody who even has a chance to stop him in this series. So at 20-1, I think he's worth a shot. Ayton or Drew Holiday at the current odds for me.
Yeah, so to me, it's like that's the problem. I think Paul wins it, but the price, it's hard to bet that. Middleton, Holiday, and Ayton. I legitimately think there's some value and some potential for those three, one of those three, to get Finals MVP. Not saying it will, but for the price you're getting, you could do a lot worse than putting a few bucks on those three guys, Middleton, Holiday, and Ayton, to be Finals MVP. Dutch, what did you think about that? The Finals MVP props.
Yeah, Nugget Green real quick. Never that. Never on that Reggie Bush. Hell no, bro. Hell no. Thumbs down to that one. Thumbs down to that. But if you smoke good and you dig the content and you want the motherfucking bag, hit the motherfucking like button because we about to hit him straight over the head. Believe that. We got our guy Wham up in this motherfucker. We got the whole crew. Just smash the like button. Share the video if you can. Muchly appreciated. Now, back to the MVP. I don't really fuck with this shit. Like, I got enough going on each game to be doing these futures and shit. But, you guys are all right in the holiday. So, I mean, plus 1,200. I'm going to tell you right now, the matchup is better. This is not a good matchup for CP3. This is a good matchup for the Phoenix Suns, in my opinion, with Giannis on the bench. But this is not a good matchup for CP3. Drew Holiday will work his ass. Offensively, defensively. CP3 going to get his. But this is a bad matchup for him. And from Middleton's, perspective, it's not good for him either. He got three motherfuckers coming at him all day. Crowder, Bridges, and Craig. So I wouldn't drop a penny on that motherfucker. I don't like any of it, really. I would either go DeAndre Ayton or Drew Holiday, and somehow, some way, CP3, Ian, you're right. This motherfucker could average 10 and 8 the whole series, and they could be like, hey, he's done so much for the league, 16 years, it's yours, CP3. And everyone on the team wouldn't even be mad at it, too. If DeAndre Ayton got it, he'd probably give it to fucking CP3, to be honest with you. So, I'd go drop the 1,200, but I would just say the money in bet game 2, bet game 3, fuck the rest,
Yeah. That's the problem I have with giving it to Paul, even if he has a mediocre series. The name on the marquee is Finals MVP. It's not 16 years of your career MVP. That's not the way this works here. There's supposed to be, what have you done in the finals? How have you played? Have you been the difference maker for your team, winning this Larry O.B.? And if Chris Paul's got a mediocre series and still gets it, I don't agree with that. I understand he's had a great career, but it doesn't mean we have to kiss his feet and all of a sudden MVP.
They do that, Ian, real quick with the Broncos. I'm a big Bronco fan. I love me some Peyton Manning, but he got that Super Bowl 50 MVP, and he had no business getting it. Vonnie, the defense, Vonnie, the whole crew shut down Cam. Peyton walked that motherfucker barely. So that's just how it goes. Yeah. And CP3's not, he's in that category when we're talking NBA and what he's done for the league,
Yeah, exactly. That's a great comparison that he won it that year when you're right. The defense carried his ass to the Super Bowl in that game. I still remember it. Conor Mac, Finals MVP. Did you get involved in anything with it?
No way. I'm like Dutch. I don't really touch these these MVPs, especially at the price. I think the Suns probably win this, and they'll just give it to Paul. I mean, there's a shot on Booker, but he's only plus 250, so there's nothing there either. The only one would be Ayton, you guys talked about. And you get someplace 16-1, 18-1. I see in one spot. He'd be the only look. He has a monster series that they could give it to him. I see at value. I'm talking about. Booker could have a huge series, but at plus 250, not a ton of value there. And Middleton or Holiday, you can mess with that, but I don't think the Bucks win this series, so I wouldn't lay anything on it.
Yeah, exactly. And you also want to make sure, when you're betting the Finals MVP, you're on the side of the team you think is going to win the NBA Finals when it's all said and done. But definitely wanted to bring it up, see if anybody had some thoughts on it. But it's just amazing that.
One more thing, Ian.
Yeah.
Just a general thought. Like, as far as I can remember, the only person who wasn't the superstar or one of the two stars on the team who won MVP was Iguodala. And when I think back on it, it seems kind of crazy right now just because I know how much Steph Curry was getting off. But when I was watching it, I felt like he deserved it. So do you guys, can you guys think of anybody else who was not a superstar type player who won Finals MVP?
I can't remember who won the fucking Finals.
Tony Parker, maybe? You say Tony Parker?
Yeah, I mean, he was one of the three, but I would put
Did
Duncan and
Ginobili win it
Ginobili
ever?
ahead of
No.
him on those teams. Yeah, on those Spurs teams way back.
That's
when.
what I
the
was looking
closest
at
guy,
too. The
though.
Spurs, like Ginobili, they had, he played big in the series before. I remember that.
Yeah, for the most part, it's been a LeBron, it's been a Michael Jordan going back in the day. That's
Exactly.
basically who you've been looking at winning most of these. Steph Curry. You're going down the list. Those are the guys that have been getting the job done and getting the Finals MVP award. So it's been rare. That's why Chris Paul stands out like a sore thumb. They'll do everything in their power to give it to him. Like I say, unless he's terrible in the series or gets injured or doesn't play as much in the series or something hits him again. Then they're going to do everything, especially if Phoenix wins the championship. They'll do everything they can to give it, I think, to CP3 when it's all said and done. Great stuff. Fun show with Skee, with Conor, with Dutch, and with our special guest today, Trot Wham, joining us as well. Let's shout out everybody in the chat before we get to best bets and Dutch's freshest look as well. MMA Locker Room, John Chow, Real DJX, Razor Sharp, Mally Mal, Eric Chang, Unk Oliver, Brad Hunt, Nucky Green, Alfonso Scott, The Hook, Gerald Martinez, Rainbow the God, Harold Williams, everybody, Gas Station Sushi, everybody in the chat. We thank you. I Need Money, Mark Unkefer, Lucky Power, Alex Gagnon, Michael Robertson, Yo Ian Karaoke, Madonna's Holiday, maybe some other time. I'm not going to do that today, but you never know. I'll remember that for down the road. JB Brown, I can karaoke anything, but we'll do that another day. Jonathan Thompson, Chris Tucker, Johnny K, Abby Jackson, Alfonso Scott, Jay Cash. We appreciate everybody. Alok Boss, thanks. Anthony Ambronio, everybody. Nate Dog, incredible. Carlos Morales, thanks for the dono. We appreciate that. Everybody in the chat, thanks for joining us here on the NBA Pub Hub. We'll be here each and every day during the NBA Finals game days. So we'll be back on Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific after today's show. All right, we got best bets and Dutch's freshest look coming up. But first, before we get to that, pause for messages from Manscaped and Southtown 101. Southtown 101, when you're in San Antonio, Texas, check them out. Live, great food, drinks, live music, DJs, karaoke. It ticks all the boxes for me in a bar I'd like to be at. So Southtown 101 in San Antonio. Manscaped, promo code PubSports. You get 20% off your purchase with the promo code PubSports for any Manscaped product, including the new and improved Lawnmower 4.0. So take advantage. Use the promo code PubSports and you'll get 20% off your purchase. And mybookie.ag, promo code PubSports. NHL, NBA Finals, MLB still ongoing. We have football season a month away, like NFL preseason. It's going to be 1 month away. College football just a few weeks after that. Get yourself ready for football season. You can do that by signing up at mybookie.ag. Bitcoin accepted currency as well for your deposit with mybookie.ag. So check it out, sign up, and use the promo code PubSports. All right, it is best bet time for Game 1 NBA Finals, Milwaukee and Phoenix. Trot Wham, you're our guest, so we'll start with you. Best bet here tonight for Game 1.
I appreciate that. And yes, I'll just keep it simple. What we talked about earlier, I got it in at 219. The best available is 220, 219. And I think market wide for the under. I'm going to take the under in this game. I just think everything's slow pace, a little time for the Suns. Let's get it.
All right, very good. Actually, I'm seeing 219.5 couple spots. So we'll give you that even better. Under 219.5, Milwaukee, Phoenix, best bet for Trot Wham. Ski Profit, what do you got? Game 1 best bet.
That's my only bet. I'm not looking nowhere else but a total. That's where I'm having my success. So I'm rocking with the under. I forgot to read that in the playoffs, game ones, I looked at all teams who've had 5 or more days rest since June of 2017. You have 20 unders, 10 overs. The average total was 220, and they only got to a little under 217. So I like it. I like the under tonight.
Right,
All right,
on 220 too.
There you go. Under 219.5 for Ski Profit, his best bet as well for Milwaukee Phoenix game 1. Dutch, what have we got for freshest look?
Yeah, man. Freshest look. We're going to go where we've been many times. We're going DeAndre Ayton. We're going to continue to eat off my big dude. From start to finish, early and motherfucking often. DeAndre will get 20 plus tonight. We're going over 15.5 points. Man, pay the juice because they're going to pay us, man. Believe that.
All right, DeAndre Ayton over 15.5 points tonight. Freshest look for Dutch. Hey, it was the gift that kept on giving in the last round against the LA Clippers. We'll see if it can keep on rolling the DeAndre Ayton freight train here. Game 1 of the finals. Conor Mac, best bet.
Yeah, I really didn't have a best bet in this one today. I like your guys under. I think Middleton's got to be big. His over 8.5 boards was plus 140. But I'll go Cameron Payne. He's averaged 12 points in the playoffs. He gets over 6.5. Give me Cameron Payne over 6.5 points, minus 125.
All right, there we go. Cameron Payne over 6.5 points. And because of the fact, Chris Paul gets a fair amount of rest, in each game, they give him his minutes to, cool off, sit down for a bit. So, you'll get Cameron Payne on the floor, and all you need is 7 points for him to get there. So 6.5 over for Cameron Payne. Best bet for Conor Mac. I'm going to go into made threes for my best bet tonight, and I'm gonna give you two best bets, both of them made threes. Mikal Bridges over 1.5 minus 145. Cameron Johnson over 1.5 plus 130. I think good price on both of them. I think even Bridges, the fact that all he needs to do is get to 2, you'll get there. So 2 player prop best bets for me, and player props have been good for me lately on the show with the best bets. So we'll go with 2 of them here. Made 3-pointers. We'll go Mikal Bridges over 1.5 minus 145 and Cameron Johnson over 1.5 plus 130. Those will be my 2 player prop best bets for game 1 of the finals tonight. And with that, we wrap up our first NBA Finals edition of the NBA Pub Up. Thanks to everyone in the chat for joining us. We will be back on Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific for game 2 of the NBA Finals, Milwaukee and Phoenix. And we'll get you ready once again for Ski Profit, for Dutch Boy Fresh, for Conor Mac, and our special guest, Trot Wham. I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Tuesday night. Enjoy game 1 of the finals. And we'll see you again on Thursday for game 2 of the finals right here on the NBA Pub Hub on Pub Sports Radio. Dutch, take us home.
Yeah, man. Salute to the chat, the real ones. Be sure to hit the like button, hit the share button, and hit the motherfucking subscribe button. Stay fresh, stay blessed, and let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest.
We be popping! Game 1. Get it.